It was supposed to be the volume going down, not the rewind. I'm going to click all the wrong buttons today, I can tell you. Good morning, everybody. Andy Stubbs, Mark Dern, and Bulldog. G'day, Bulldog. Mr. Oggy, Mr. Ogden. Hello, say hello, Mr. Ogden.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Mr. Ogden. Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
and Dill. And
Sorry, I had the audio feeding back in from the YouTube because for some reason it unmuted itself.
It does that. That's YouTube. Gotta play the ads for you. Come on, you can't mute the ads. Anyway, so how's everybody today? You like that picture of a? I don't even know where that temple is. That's not the White Temple, is it? Maybe that's down in Old Siam, the theme park. Anyway, Andy, Bull, go to Dog, Thomas, hi. Okay, yeah. Gets very confusing. So how is everybody? That video I put out yesterday seems to be doing quite well. I think that was the first bit of news we had today was cracked the 8,000 subscriber mark. I'll get my where's pictures. There we go. Pictures. There we go. Where are we? That one there. Yes. We did that yesterday. A bit of an achievement. Anyway, so the channel continues to grow, which is pretty good. If I can only just to stay on track on the subjects that I do videos on, rather than sort of rambling on and getting sidetracked with all the little side stories.
We all know that it's because you're showing the Go-Go Girls.
showing Go-Go Girls. You want me to say, where's the Go-Go Girls? On my list, where's my Go-Go Girls? You're always sidetracking me. Yeah, where is it? They must be here. Oh, there we go. Patio Go-Go. There we go. Who have we got to show on the girls this week? Nice buns.
That's
so
a Fahrenheit at Go-Go.
So when you flick through these things, they don't give you their names, which is a bit of a nuisance. They should have their names on there. She's got some nice ink on her. Gotta love the tan on Thai girls. I think it's just absolutely yummy. Chanya's always on about the fact she wants to have white skin. Can she have my white? Like my skin's not all that white, but can I have my white skin? Because it's only the regular Thais have brown skin. The HISO Thais have white skin. And I said, darling, if you were on the beaches of Manly or any of the beaches down in Sydney there, and the guys are here, they just think your freaking colour of your skin would be just so hot. The girls try so hard to get that golden tan. Yep, and it's all natural with you.
Go to Seattle and see what kind of tan the girls there have. Oh my gosh.
Is that because the snow's up there?
Pasty white. Well, it rains all the time.
So. It rains all the time. So they got English tans, have they?
Water stippling.
I'll get to that shortly, Bulldog. So yeah, we got to have a look at a bit of eye candy first. Now they can clean my house any day.
Yes.
Yes.
A good scrubbing.
There we go. Lady Love Thailand. They don't look real. They're not real either.
No, but you know what? I can still appreciate good artwork.
There you go. That's right. The different varying. Doesn't look. She looks partly Farang, doesn't she? Yeah. Look at her eyes.
Eyes? She had eyes?
She had eyes, yeah.
I never got above the neck.
G'day Wayne, how you doing? We just thought we'd start the day with a bit of a gander at some of the patio girls. And my eyes are hurting. What's this one? How do you say that? I don't know. Yeah, nice pink. That's a nice outfit she's almost wearing.
Yes. Well, I think it's kind of wearing her.
Nice bit of ink down the side there. Yeah. Ah, she's Miss Ordinary. She's the girl next door, is it? Mod.
Yeah. Oh, there's a.
There's a, yeah, some buns. Mm-hmm. Well, a little bit of areola showing there. Mm-hmm. She doesn't have any breast. She doesn't have any breasts at all. Poor girl. More ink.
Some guys like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. There we go. Enough eye candy to wake you guys up. Okay, we have 24 people watching, and probably no likes on this. What's our
5
likes?
likes, 26 watching.
Ah, slackers, you know. Play some pretty girls and get no likes. Really, you're all you're all asleep. The blonde one was Vida from Rathbar. Friend just told me. Okay, fair enough. Okay.
I need to visit Rathbar.
We don't get girls like that at our local. I can honestly sort of attest to that thing. We had 3 local pubs in Hornsby. Never saw anything like that in the local pubs. We were just, God, you know, bloody Australia's third world country. It's terrible. Yeah, okay. What's the latest? So I did the video. Okay, so I've had a few people kicking the tires. You know, sort of. About the fact that yes, you can get in on a visa exempt, and as I'm trying to explain to people, the point of the video, or that video, was, come on, you have to look at the whole picture. If you want to come here, go talk to your local consulate, right? They will tell you what you need, and even half a dozen consulate websites that I've been to, that talk about the COE. The COE is mandatory. You have to get the COE, Certificate of Entry. You're not allowed in it without a certificate of entry, right? The certificate of entry is issued by the consulate, right? And on their websites it says requirements, visa. You need a visa is a requirement for the COE. Okay, so the website says one thing, yet some of these countries have got visa exempt status. So how that works, I can't say anything about how that works. Go see your consulate. Talk to them. They're the experts. Stop listening to us. We're in Thailand. We can't help you getting in the country. Honestly, you want to come to the country, go talk to the people who are going to issue the freaking damn COE so you can come to the country, right? But yeah. Gone are the days where you can just jump on a plane. Oh, so gone are the days where you can buy a plane ticket, jump on a plane, and walk through the gates at Swanepoel. That was what I said in the video. Those days are gone. Whether they come back or not, right? At least Q1, Q2 next year, right? But even if I think that's a stretch of the imagination where you can just book a ticket, jump on a plane, and come here. I just pretty much can guarantee you this is just not going to happen ever again. Yeah, that's it. Now, that was the point of the video. I don't know whether it's just people just don't. Is that what I said in the video? I have to go and read my video, watch my video again. But I'm pretty sure that's what I said. Yeah, people want to kick the tires on that one. No, seriously. I don't care. It's got lots of views. What's our view count on it at the moment? I don't know. Where's the other page? No, so 2.4k views in 21 hours. That's not doing too bad. Morning, Mr. Groves. Mayor Groves. I am feeling refreshed. Just got out of the pool. And you missed the pretty girls. Do I have to play that? Oh, look, I'll play. Let's do the pretty. Just for Mr. Groves. Well, let's go and look at the pretty girls again. I don't think it's already still there. Let's have to look at the pretty girls again, just to wake Robert up. He's just been in the pool. He needs a bit of a refresher. There we go. This one's quite cute. I do think she's cute. Love the ink. Let's not spend too much time. This is only just for... G'day, Mr. Patrick. Saying, hey, why don't you... let's just flick through you. These, as I said, these girls can clean my house any day. You awake yet? Just tell me if you're awake. Are you awake, Mr. Groves? Yummy. We should have a competition of grading them. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, so there we go. I think Mr. Groves is now awake. We don't get girls like, yeah, that's when we just did that. Just a good morning, Warren. Can't even go more than 5 kilometres from my house, let alone go to Thailand. Yeah, I know. So I think that was another reference I made in the video. You can't even get out of Australia, let alone get into Thailand, or at least on a tourist visa. You can get out of Australia, but I'm not quite sure how many children you got to kill with a pitchfork. It's just one of those things. But I said one of my mates down in Phuket, he managed to get out of the country. Mind you, he had an OB visa. What's that turning up? Yeah, OB visa. So he was coming on a business visa. Yes, wide awake now. Good. Get them to come to my house. It's so dirty. They're all great, but far too young. Well, as I said, they don't want. For some reason, these bars don't want to do pictures of the good-looking older women. There are some pretty hot-looking 50-year-olds over here in Thailand. But you just don't see them. You just don't see them in the bars. I think they've got better things to do. Johnny Siam, good morning. How are you? Anyway, so I thought I might as well do some news roundups. We'll hear what Oggie's got to say shortly about happening in Arizona. But what was the article that I saw here from Richard Barrow that I thought was worth mentioning? Okay, so they're still on. We're 32 days away from the Phuket opening. And they are still sending around circulars the fact that, yep, it's going to happen, I will honestly believe this happens on the 1st of July, right, and not before. Because, where was it? I saw there was something on my Twitter feed. Let me see, go back to the top of it. Is it there? There we go. This is what it's like here in Thailand. Okay, it's in Thai. I don't really know exactly what it says. I have to get my translator out and do a translation. Translate, image, camera, align text, evolution of PopeKael COVID. Yes, the nose gets longer and longer. So even the Thai rags are sort of making a joke of the whole situation now. You can't believe anything that's coming out of Thailand. And I believe that even Prayo Chanachat, there was an article here, I think it was here, I don't know, how far was it? Down, oh, there was it. Even here he goes into to say, like, the Cabinet during the meeting on 25th of May approved the extension period enforcement of declaration. Yeah, so they've extended the emergency decree for another 60 days, Cabinet was told. Thailand has decided to suspend COEs for a number of different countries. Yes. It's probably not the article I was thinking of. But there was something I sort of saw as well that he's just saying he's even coming to this forefront now and just saying, right, can we have a straight line of communication about what's really happening? Because as we were saying this before we started, half of it comes down to the fact that it's the Thai language. This is a discussion we've been having lately. So English is a very precise language. If you study, and there's words that describe so many different nuances. Whereas you look at the Thai language, the Thai language can be taken, the way it's spoken and the way it's translated could mean, a simple statement could mean half a dozen things. And again, it's a perception people have when they're doing the translation of what was really being said. But of course, that can lead to miscommunication. So, and he's sort of saying, look, could we sort of all have a bit of a straight communication thread so that people get the right information? So he's trying to jump on the case on that one now as well. What are our co? I said, 1st of July, sure. It not the 1st of August. 1st of July, sure, not the 1st of August, it may be. I'm actually taking a 44-year-old mama son. I'm talking to a 44-year-old mama son. Why they think that's old is beyond me. Yes, I know. Yo, big ups, Laura. G'day, DC. How you doing? Yeah, so I was looking for today's report, but it's just 28th, so 29th. The numbers are only just coming. Oh, we're doing pretty good. Numbers only just coming out. So Bangkok, 973k. This is from yesterday, so it's this is the published yesterday, which is the 27th. It's the 29th. You get the idea. It's always, you know what I mean. Nakhon Pathom, so we saw a bit of a climb in our province. It's not as bad as Northern Buri and non-Taburi. God, I keep on saying Northern Buri because I don't know why I say Northern Buri. It's non-Taburi, and I keep on getting pulled up on that one. Pratum Thani, 39. Where is it? Samut Pakran, which is the southeast side of Bangkok. We got where's Patio? 1,294 in correction facilities. I don't think Patio comes into that. Where is east? Oh, Chonburi. Chonburi, that's Patio area. Is 42, so they're doing pretty good down in that area as well. So, what else is there? Phetchaburi, that's actually going up. That's Hua Hin.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. That's a bit of a climb there. Like maybe that's numbers. Maybe that's a correction facility down there. I don't know. Bulldog, my retirement starts 2024. I'm not planning to get there by then, so planning is not planning to get there by then, so planning, but no, I get you planning it yet. Yeah, even 20 years, the plan needs to be 20 years if you want to do it properly, unless of course you're relying on a pension which may all of a sudden disappear, knowing the way Australia works. South, I believe there was a variant there. There was one of these sort of variants that was detected in South Africa, has managed to get its way across the border through Malaysia last week. They sort of got everybody in a panic. I also believe that there was a panic situation. They're now calling it the Thai variant in England. No, there's a particular variant first detected in Thailand, which, if you do further research on that one, is a variation of the South African variant, which has been, it's a different strain that's come in, but the genomic sequences sort of says it's based on the South African. So, again, everybody wants to demonise everybody else. Really. Could we just get the frickin' vaccine rolled out to people? Honestly. Anyway. So that's the number rollout. Bulldog, my planning has taken a year as well. Hopefully I'll be there in August. Yeah, well, hopefully, people can, I said that you shouldn't have any problems getting out here. It's just, the COE. Let's actually bring that up. Certificate of Entry, Thailand. Thai Embassy. So this is published Thai Embassy. This is the Embassy Gateway. How do you apply? What do you need? Right. What do you need? What do you have to do to after receiving the COE? Valid visa and your passport, certificate of entry, right? Um, medical certificate, laboratory, travel insurance, copy of confirmed ASQ booking, flight itinerary, T8 form. What's a T8 form? What was a T7? What's a T8 form? Fill in the following bits of cordial kind of convenience aircraft, ship name from seat number. Gee, I never did this when I came here in 2016. God, Thais love their paperwork, they really do. TA form, you must download the Thailand Plus application. What is the validity of this certificate? Is valid only for the intended date of travel, COE. How long does it take to obtain? So remember the applicant spares at least 15 working days before the travel date to apply. How to apply for COE, visit COE Thailand, whatever, register by filling in the forms. What's that? Packages. Okay. What are the requirements? Copy of a passport, copy of STV, non-immigrant visa, extension of stay or re-entry permit. Copy of, so this is the thing. These are the requirements to get your COE, but then of course like your visa exempt. How do you get a visa if you're on a visa exempt? This is their information. It's fucking ridiculous. It really is. Nothing you can get online it makes any sense because it's just what it's like here. It's just the misinformation or the half-cocked information that we have to deal with, or you guys have to deal with. It can be quite daunting. Anyway, but as I said, the best thing to do is you talk to your embassy, right? They will tell you, because they're the ones who are going to issue the COE. They're the ones who are going to be involved in that process, right? Without consulting them, you pretty much got no chance of coming here. Robert Mac in Asia, how you doing? Good morning. Go on.
The Thai embassy out of D.C., Washington D.C., is saying that yes, U.S. visa exemption is still true, but you do have to get a COE to come in. So you are visa exempt, but you have to have the COE.
Yeah, so it's again, it's just the way you read the information and the way it's being processed. Somebody at the other side of the receipt process of the COE, right, they've got a checklist, right? If you get it checked off before you come, you've got a good chance that they won't turn you away at the door. If you arrive, because I have actually heard of people arriving here with incomplete information and they just get sent away. So it's a real dodgy situation right now, and yet Phuket seems to think that they're going to freaking open. Phuket they will vaccinate foreigners from 1st of July. They do not need to quarantine, but they must stay in Phuket for at least 7 days. Children only need to do a rapid test. The TAT will start their official countdown next week with full details and Anyway, let's have a look at something. Let's have a look at some of the brighter things on the horizon. Our progress with our house. So we left last week. We were showing you. This is where it was last Saturday. Those were the photos we took last Saturday. It had tiles on the back wall.
Does it look different now?
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there. It's all right. So this is last Saturday. And that was from the outside there, and the mess on the yard. Yeah. Okay, so that was last Saturday. Scroll up to so we did some photos yesterday. Where are we? Yeah, so these are the photos. I took Stephen Monash on a walk around tour. Stephen Monash can't join us. He's been a bad boy on YouTube, and he had his account on YouTube disabled or something because he was getting rather boisterous, talking about the Myanmar situation or something, supposedly. So they canned his account. So we're missing Stephen Monash. I told him how to fix it. He's got to go and just get another Gmail account and he can come back on again. But you know what Steve is like. Anyway, so yeah, this is taken. These are photos taken yesterday. We've got all the machines are out of the dining room. That's a quick snapshot of the kitchen. It's not quite cleaned up, but this is now the Mum's Cave. We're calling it Mum's Cave, and she's over the moon. She really is quite happy. So it's got the cooktop there. It's got the bench all done. There's all the sort of sewing machines.
I know you should have just cut one of those windows out and put a door right from her room into the.
That way, she's already making jokes about the fact that she doesn't have to come through the house. She just has to open the window and climb out the window.
Yeah.
To get to work. Climb out the window to get to work. Oh my God. And so the Psycho made a comment and he said, "Oh, marbled floor? That must be expensive." No, this is what they call a random print tile. It's not actually marble, but it has a very marble-esque look. It actually looks quite elegant. Yeah, quite classy and elegant. Again, this is Chanya picked it. We did not. I suggested out of the different things, that was the one that we together suggested looked the best for the back wall. The brick sort of look. I thought that looked, it seems to fit quite well. So she's got the old kitchen table there. She's eating eating noodles. This will look down to the big 1,000-litre water tank. Mate, oh, it's so good to have a high-pressure freaking shower again. Oh my God. I've been having 2 showers a day just because I've been missing it. The water pressure you get here in Thailand at first floor level from sea level, it is absolutely ridiculous. In fact, right, you get some mornings, like a Sunday morning between probably the hours of 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning, you turn that tap on in the shower without the pump, you turn the tap on and that's it. You don't get any water at all. Because of the fact that that's the time that all the Thais are up and showering and everything else, and there's just not enough head pressure. But yeah, so we've got the 1,000-litre tank, so we can have good long showers at really good pressure. That's this pump in the back there. It'll lift that water, I think 35 meters at 5 psi or something like that. It's quite good. You really feel it feels like having a massage. And yeah, most of the crap's out of the front yard. Of course, we're still got that's one of the next things here. We'll talk about this thing here in a minute. There's the 2 poles that they've put in for the carport, but that's where we are. That's right. What was the other news? To you. Happy birthday to you.
Candle?
Happy birthday, my sweet. You can't hear this, unfortunately.
Happy birthday to you.
It was, Chanya's birthday, so...
Oh!
This is out with her girlfriends. They were at it. That's Nook Young's salon, not Chanya's salon. But yeah, the Brat Pack. Yes, they're all ladyboys if you haven't worked that out. Chanya, of course, is the cutest one of the lot. Nook Young comes in probably second cutest. Not quite sure her name. I've met her a couple of times, but I keep on forgetting her name.
Which one's Nook Young?
Nook Young here is the one at the back.
Ah.
Yeah, she's a cutie. She's 5'11". She's really tall. She's taller than me. She's scary. Anyway, what else was there? Yeah, okay. So she had a birthday party. Good. What else did we have? Oh yeah, guess what? Her birthday. So she got. There was the video's in the can, by the way. But she's got the Oppo Reno 5. Right, you remember at Christmas time or January?
Yeah,
I
she
gave.
have the gold iPhone or something.
She was talking about the iPhone. So I said, look, I'm not buying you an iPhone. Here's 15,000 baht for a phone. If you want the iPhone, buy it yourself. I'll pay half. You know what she ended up buying? My watch. She bought me my watch with the money I gave her for her phone.
Sounds appropriate.
So I had the fire, so I forked out. Thought, what was it? 13,000 baht, was it? Does it have the price there? I can't remember. Yes, 13,000 baht for the Reno 5. The specs on the Reno. If somebody's asked me about phones on the channel, on the comment section, and somebody flamed him out, and I said, "Well, it's a valid. You know, what phone? I don't know. Phones change. How many times a phone model changes a year? I don't know. But the Reno 5 looked pretty good for the price. Definitely sort of worth looking into if you're over here. But out of all the ones we looked at on Thursday, this was the one that came out as my recommendation as being not a bad option for a phone in the current offerings for that under 15,000 baht price tag. It just seems to have all the right sort of stuff. It's got a 64 megapixel camera. It's got the 865 G5 5G processor. It's got 128 gig of ROM, 8 gig RAM. Basically, it just looks pretty good. Anyway, she's happy. She's got a new phone. But yeah, that's in the video, which I got to cut the video yet. What else is there? That was Wednesday. She went out. We went out to Temple. That was in the morning. Was it Wednesday? Wednesday. What day was that? Thursday. So it was we went to. So that was this is the guys dropping these pillars in, which is in the video.
You didn't have five guys standing and jumping on a pillar?
No, they actually used a machine for this time. Actually, I got some video of that where it's in the raw footage. Where are we? Unencoded videos. There we go. I haven't even labelled it yet. This looks like it. Open with. Oh, I can double click. Yeah, so this is the method, of course, sinking the pylons down into the subsoil past all the clay base. I'm not quite sure how deep they go. I think they said something like 5 metres or 6 metres deep. Yeah, so to cut a long story short, that was so there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I thought there was actually 10 either side. So that's how deep that they drive these pillars, and they weld one on top of each other. I think you actually do I have it there as well? I don't know. Yeah, so this actually feels like a bit of an earthquake going on when they run this pile driver. I'll wait for the next round and I'll give you an idea what it looks like. It certainly beats the other method they were using at the back. So yeah, they just drive those piles into the pylons into the sub. Okay. Anyway, so done. I thought I recorded. the actual, when they put the pylon, maybe I didn't, I think I took a photo instead. But yeah, so they got a steel plate on the top and bottom of them, and so they drive one down, they put the next one, and they actually weld those pylons together. So it actually goes that deep into the ground before they actually hit a solid base. Which,
wow.
yeah, and I'm going, really? That's, like, in Australia, God, you'll hit bedrock at, at 3 feet. Where I remember when the next door neighbour dug his in-ground pool, they had to get the jackhammers out to just, to get through the what do they call it, the subsoil, the subsurface rock, and that was only sort of 2 metre. Well, it wasn't even 2 metres under the soil. But yeah, it's all soft. It's soft clay for, well, those things there. Well, these tyres are what, 5 foot tall, maybe sort of 5-6 foot. So 5, so 5, 10, 20, 25. So it looks like they've driven those things effectively 50 feet into the ground, before they actually hit a solid base. And then of course they'll in that thing. I think that where are we? We're back to the photos again. Yeah, so if we look at that photo there, that's what we've got sticking out of the ground. They'll actually cut. Why is that thing not resolving again? Good fucking photos. Yeah, so this concrete pole, they'll actually cut that off at the ground level, and they'll dig a base around that, and they'll concrete that, and that'll be the support. And then they'll mount the support for the awning across those 2 poles. And the whole idea behind that, from what I've been told, or what I can best understand, is that's how deep that they put the pillars for the support for the concrete pad that the house is built on. So effectively what this does is, as subsidence happens, the carport will subside at the same speed as the house. Does that make sense?
Yep.
It's gotta love Thailand. Yeah. Anyway, that video I got. That's all the raw footage. I got to cut that out, and put in a video for you guys later. So that'll probably come out tomorrow, sometime, or the next day, whenever I get my finger out. What was the cost of the land and combo? Okay, so it is this is a what they call a house and land package. We're on 225 square metres is the land footing, and house combo was 3.8 million. It's what they call off the plan housing estate. Somebody was asking me about that today. Why didn't we get these extensions done when they built the house? Well, the extensions are always done after the house, because of the fact that the estate is done off plan to keep the prices uniform, if you know what I mean. You're allowed to do, if you're buying off plan, you can do small modifications as long as those modifications are within, some sort of parameters. But as I said, you can't get, let's just knock that whole building down and build our own on that. No, this is an estate that the estate owners, right? They built all the house to the same plan, or 2 or 3 different styles, and you can. And Brian, g'day, thanks, mate. And then you can make small changes, like this one here. We didn't buy off the plan; somebody else bought off the plan on this one, and they made a change to the kitchen area, and they put a larger kitchen extension. But that larger kitchen extension was already as an option on those basic plans. So like there was a basic house plan. I think there was 3 different styles you could choose from, and there's different modifications you could have which were already drawn up. In our case, what we did, we made a plan change because they hadn't finished the upstairs, and we said we'd like this back wall here that you can't see because it's got this back wall here. wasn't included in that plan, but we asked, could that be added to the drawing? I wanted a socket over there, I wanted a socket here, I wanted a socket here, and the light switch here, and they said yes, and that cost us an extra 19,000 baht to have that change and modification done to the house, which we actually paid for as a separate item. Because again, the house was the house. That's the package. It wasn't added. Now that addition was added to the package off the plan. Confusing to a lot of people, if you know what I mean. But anyway, so that's why they do all these extensions. Once you've actually owned the house, you're free to do anything you want for it. Anything inside that fence line. You know, you wanted to have a three-ring circus, no problem. It's all yours. You know, they've got no say-so. You are the title owner of that plot of land, and under Thai law, you could drill for oil, as far as I know. You know, if you wanted to do effectively drill for oil, not like Australia. If you bought a block of land, right, and started drilling for oil, the government can come around and say, "I'm sorry, that's our oil. We'll give it to BHP." In Thailand, that land footing, once you buy that land footing, that is yours for, I don't know, to the centre of the earth, as far as I know. Right? They can't say. I've come about a conversation I had with somebody recently, or it wasn't a conversation, but they were talking about it in the rundown of the details of Silom, the Patpom Museum. They actually talked about that. The reason why the Siam MRT station is multi-level and one line only and everything else is the only corridor that they could put the station in, because the land either side, right, was owned by different people or different names who flatly refused to give up the land because it's their land, right? And again, their justification is, this is my land for 1,000 metres. It's all mine. You cannot touch it. So they actually had to build the MRT line through this narrow corridor, right, outside these plots of land, which is quite interesting, But yeah, for someone to do, this is the way it works over here in Thailand. Yeah, so you can do anything you want. You can drill for oil, and they can't stop you. But yeah, so we've sunk those pillars in. That'll give us the support, and the carports, I think they start that next Monday. So we're all good. Anyway, Joe Elliott, good morning. How you doing? Are they single? No, actually, all those girls in that little video were they all spoken for. They all have boyfriends. When transgenders get 30 plus, you tend to find that they've usually settled down and they've got themselves a steady thing going on. Nuk Young, he has she's been dating Robert he's an English lad, a couple of years younger than me, but he hasn't been out. She's distraught. She hasn't seen him for 18 months. She's starting to lose it, because the fact that being away from your loved one for 18 months is a bit of a tough stretch for most people. But yes, he's an English lad. They've been dating for something like 6 years now. Excuse me. Robert, the whole state of Victoria. Yeah, the lockdown. What did 4 cases in the lockdown, Victoria? Oh my God. At least that's not happening here. But yeah, maybe our full lockdown would probably stop the spread. But I think most of the problems we got here, the spread now, is just people just not giving a fuck anymore about complying with social distancing. Yeah. Hey, I've given up trying to follow it. Can we just get some vaccine rolled out somewhere? Really nice. I'm looking at condos to buy. Are there lots? From what I understand, we might do another review of what's on the market at the moment. But again, what we find is people, the whole, we don't have a thing like the domain here, like the domain website here, which is all the latest stuff goes up in the domain, and every agency wants to get their listing higher placed in the domain searches and things like that whole thing. That doesn't go on over here. I think all the independents of real estate systems they're quite independent and they don't update very well, and it's just the way it goes. But we have done that thing. We might do it in a couple of weeks' time. Next week we've got something. We're trying to line something up special. We've got a special guest coming on. I won't say too much right now about it, and I'm just giving you a bit of a heads up. But we're going to do a Q&A, and he's going to come on. He's going to be here, and he's going to be answering some very specific questions about life in Thailand. So we've got to hear from him rather than have me chat on for 2 hours, if you know what I mean. He can chat on for 2 hours and go horse. But he lives in a different part of the country, well, I don't want to spruik too much of that. I'm just saying, stay tuned for that one next week. It should be a good show. Once we got it all formalised, got a bit of a script going, some bullet points to cover. We'll probably start, pushing out there Thursday or Friday next week, just to say tune in for Saturday morning. And again, this is Thailand. Like anything could happen between now and next Saturday. So, yeah. So it's at the moment an 80% chance that it's going to happen. This is about the best that we can ever offer in Thailand, is 80%. Yes, Dallo, thanks, Dallo, no problem. 8,000 subscribers. That was only since I think the 7,000. What was the 7,000? If I go back there a bit. No. So we did 7,000 was 19th of the 1st. So that was 5 months to do 1,000. Wasn't too bad. I can't really complain about that. Things are starting to. So I think the algorithms are starting to work in our favour. I don't think the materials really changed that much. Maybe I'm just a bit more forgetful, forgetting what I should be saying, it's not staying as well on track, but I feel a lot more comfortable in front of the camera now. It's just the way it goes. So looking back there, was it 22nd of September 2019? It was 5,000 subscribers. April 2019 was 4,000 subscribers. 6,500 was 17th and 11th 2020. Yeah, so I haven't been really keeping a good track of those numbers as they go past, but 6,000. What was the 6,000? The 6,000 was 15th of August 2020. Yeah. So anyway, where were we up to? Being a house and land estate, are there strata fees involved? There is what they call a monthly fee, which is 600 baht per month, payable after the first 3 years. That first 3 years has already been included in the original price, but after 3 years, that's when they want the residents to start forking out their 600 baht to keep the gate manned and keep the security cameras going and all that sort of stuff. We don't have to worry about it for 3 years, but as strata fees, I'm pretty sure that covers your garbage service, the gate fees, the gate person fees, and the 24/7 security. And I'm sure that price will vary as it's CPI adjusted and all that sort of stuff. But we don't have to worry about it for the first 3 years. I think that's what you mean by strata fees. But that's what we're going to pay, but we've already paid it. So you pay 6,000 baht a year. So what's that in comparison? So So 612. So in other words, we pay 7,200 baht a year would be our fee, and I think if we pay, we'll probably get a discount if we pay yearly. I know when we were at the other estate, we didn't have to pay anything because we were renting. Supposedly the house owner had to pay those strata fees or estate fees or move-out. I really don't know what that. We call them strata fees. But they always had difficulty every month. I think it was the person who ran that did it 2 doors up. They had a little thing that they put up there for 3 days over that weekend of the month, to try to catch everybody coming home from where they happen to work for, right, getting them to pay their fee because those people stopped paying it. But that's what happens after 20 years. People stop paying for it. I remember Bob telling me, Bob, that was another of my Vulcan mates. He was living out at Rangsit, north of Bangkok. Their estate was probably 5 or 6 years old, and the guy that owns the house next door to him flatly refuses to pay the starter fees anymore. Right? They've tried everything, but unfortunately, they tried not picking his garbage up. But then, of course, he just kept on putting his garbage out, so it just accumulated in the streets, right? So they had, it was just basically it was a Mexican standoff, right? They eventually sort of succumbed and sort of picked up his garbage, right? But he flatly refuses to pay the strata fees anymore, And again, he owns the land. Absolutely nothing they can do about it, For some unknown reason, I suppose there would be some sort of legal recourse. They could take him to court. And demand some sort of payment, but again, this is Thailand. And they said, this is what Bob sort of said. It's been going on for 12 months, and maybe they did put a summons to have him appear in court, and the guy's got some sort of reason why he doesn't want to pay. Right, the court case might come around in 2 to 3 years. How that transpires, I don't know. From what I understand, Bob, he's actually moved out of that place. He's now got his own place up north. Very nice place too, that is. He's another one of these expats that is building as he goes, like Joe. His place is actually, I think they've moved in. I don't know if I've actually got a picture of Bob. Where have we go? My phone. Bob Duffy, there he is. There's his page. What's he been doing? Did he make a public post? Oh yes, okay. So it is public. His profile's public, so I can he won't mind me sort of trying. So this is the thing he's built up. House is finished. That was 10th of May. Adding glass sliding doors to the garage, and they will start work on the cement wall and the fence next week tomorrow. So that's his that's his place up there. Nicely done, but this is in Isan. I don't think he's published a price publicly, but it's really come up very nice. It's sort of it's a split house sort of system as well. I actually thought the plan was quite odd looking, but you've got bedrooms actually away from the house, and there's like this little adjoining walkway between the two areas, which actually they're not even joined. So they are two separate houses, but one is the house entertainment area, and the other part is bedrooms, or the living quarters. So it actually keeps it, the two parts separate. I'm sure he's got a picture, a plan here somewhere. We're into pictures going to Prague to his friends list, so I better stop that. But yeah, so he's doing pretty good. And again, there was a plan somewhere, and there was a reason behind it, and the car poured out the back, so he keeps the car separate. This is nice when you've got a nice, that looks like it's almost a rye of land that is allocated to the house itself. I don't know how big his overall land space is. I think he's got quite a few rye there. It's all rice and farming and everything else, which looks quite good. But yes, he's finished his house. He's moved in as well, and happily sort of enjoying his new life up there. What else have we got going on? Oh yes, I took a photo this morning. So that's my setup there. I got the coffee machine. Made my coffee this morning. Didn't go to 7-Eleven for my coffee. I got a nice little retro look. The coffee machine, the microwave, and the air fryer. What else does a guy need to? And of course, if I want to fry something up, I'll just go into the kitchen. But this is the electric kitchen, if you know what I mean. All the stuff that I would use on a regular basis. Anyway, moving right along. Includes 24-hour security. Yep. As for the security, well, there are some cameras in the soy, but it's not covering everywhere because they haven't finished the gate out the front yet. Yeah, garbage collection, yes. So I guess gated community, thanks. Mostly afternoon, morning. Invite. I might try that. You're not paying the council fees and see how I can get on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd have you in front of the magistrate within within 14 days. Don't you worry. It's amazing how quickly they can get a court case. I know, when one of my little nefarious episodes when I was 19 years old, the 24-hour stay in the local constabulary. They managed to get a court hearing the next day. It's amazing how quickly the police can get court hearings. So first offence, 1 year probation, expunged records. You know how it goes. I'm pretty sure they never were expunged, but anyway. Yes, just word of warning, if you happen to live in Hornsby, and you see the Michigan Avenue signpost being inadvertently knocked down by some drunken driver who, you don't know, you just see it there and you think, oh, that Michigan Avenue signpost, that'd look pretty good on my wall. Well, don't try to put the whole pole in the back of your car and drag it up the street to your house, okay? Because the police are watching. I happen to be the oldest, so they threw the book at me. I wasn't driving, I just happened to be in the back seat, I was the oldest out of the four of us, so they threw the book at me. Lots of fun. Yeah. If that was the only thing they could have done me on, that's why I'm very happy about that. Anyway, Bossa Nova, g'day. What else have we got going here? Air fryers are great. It's the first time I've actually used one. The fries I put in last night. So I ate fries last night with my meal, not rice. Put the fries in there. 12 minutes later, come out crispy fries. No excessive amount of oil, just like you'd buy in the shops. Actually, I thought they tasted better than the KFC and the McDonald's fries. But anyway. I don't know whether I really want to play around with sort of doing and cutting them from potatoes and peeling and everything else. I believe to do that you need to actually get your own. You need to then get what they call an oil spray if you want to use fresh potatoes, because you do need some sort of oil in there for it to actually cook. I'm not an expert on air fryers yet. I've been watching a few YouTube videos on cooking, so to leverage how to use an air fryer properly. I just thought, it's Sean. G'day, Sean. How you doing? Didn't see you pop in there.
Hey Warren. Yeah, I was out in the garage.
Was you out in the garage?
Oh yeah, if you see my Facebook, you'll tearing the whole front end off my SUV,
Can
replacing
I
all of
can
that.
I can I can I go to your Facebook? You don't mind them seeing your Facebook?
I put it up as a story. I don't know. I could send you
Uh,
a pic.
that's right. Let me go to my page. I can go to Facebook home story. Yeah, I go to all the stories. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. So there we go. That's your story. Okay. When you're so I can't pause it, unfortunately. Pause.
No.
Pause it. When your girl around not around on a 3-day weekend, can't really see that very well. Okay, so your girl's not there, so you're doing some brake repairs. Looks like, is that right?
That's the whole thing. The suspension, brakes, hubs, four-wheel locking hubs, the whole deal.
And you're doing on outside on the concrete, not
Oh, it's in
inside
my
it,
garage.
not inside the house. Jeez,
I have a garage.
in the garage.
Yeah.
When you start pulling apart motorcycles in the lounge room, then you know you've made it in the whole deal of how to piss off your wife. Anyway, moving right along. What are we going to do? We're just gone.
And by the way, whatever you did for Discord sounds good this week.
Yeah, but I've screwed something up. Unfortunately, I ran an update for my graphics card yesterday, or 3 days ago. I ran a graphics card update, and it went through and reinitialized all the sound system again, put the sound feed in for the monitor and all the other, and completely screwed up my mixer. So I can't get the audio from the desktop going back into Discord at the moment, if you know what
Oh,
I mean. Which had a quick look at this morning, trying to fix it up, but I said no, it was an hour away from broadcast. I wasn't going to call them. Let's just reset and get back to where we were. Yes, it's
I
got
saw
to.
your five misconceptions about Thailand video today. I was wondering if you'd already talked about that.
Oh well, basically the video title was more about what was the video title? I've got to go back to my page. So you want to move to Thailand? That was actually the title. I didn't want to. I didn't really
Yeah.
want to do the whole thing, like do what Rob did and do, and sort of leverage the key. Although that is in the description because that helps the SEOs to rank against those other videos, and if you use common phrases. But there is a sort of again plagiarism, and I don't want to plagiarize everything. But I think it's good. These are their 5 points, and it was just my take on their 5 points that I did. But I didn't make it about that, if you know what I mean. Like Rob made it about the review process
Oh,
of the other guy's video, which I think he did. I think he did really well. But he probably spoke to Brett and said, "Can I do it?" and got permission. It's like when the Nile has used my footage, he's contacted me and said, "Do you mind if I use your footage in my video?" I said, "Do you want the raw stuff?" And he says, "No, I'll just take it off. I'll just take it off YouTube." They've done the right thing. They've asked me first, and I said, "Yeah, no problem. I got no problem when people ask." Uh, you know, and mind you, if some of these nefarious channels decided to come on and wanted to have a go at me or something, I'd probably say no. You're not given permission, so use it at your own risk. Um,
yeah.
because
I just kind of found it kind of interesting what some people will call, like, for example, the third world country description of Thailand,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
but how
Well,
it isn't quite like the McDonald's at the Robinsons there on Sukhumvit.
yeah,
The restroom is obviously not disability compliant, to say the least. And
yeah.
I wonder if just something like as small as that is what people think, describe it as third world instead of
Well, you look at
just
something.
accepting that it isn't quite.
Well, if you take a look at that picture there, just for instance. Now,
Yeah.
okay. Well, somebody might sort of turn around and just say, "Looks pretty for third world to me. This is a mum and pup, convenience store just out the front of our soy. It doesn't look modern, you know, but then of course you've only just got to spin around, and then, like, there's a modern-looking housing estate. This is what people don't get used to here in Thailand. Once you own the land, it's yours. Nobody really can do anything about it. The government can come along under special decrees and sequester the land for building an expressway through your rice fields or something like that. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few type thing. But those sort of processes are really hard. Governments have to be long indentured and all that sort of stuff. You get the idea. It's quite a convoluted process, But yes, that doesn't look all that modern to me. When you look, it's funny you do a 180-degree spin. But that's just Thailand.
I was just thinking that something that small is what drives people to think that it's not, what it is, and think it's all that way.
Yeah, just people just have so many misconceptions about Thailand in general. It is a bit of a joke, As I said, but you get down to drop something down here, or drop a thing, a modern convenience store. There we go. That's a 7-Eleven. That's not that. Just the you get these terrace houses on one side, and a nice modern, big, mega market, sort of supermarket, sort of, on the other side of the road. This is one of the charming things about Thailand, is the fact that it is just so random, it's a random thing, Once you own the land, that's it. You can drill for oil. You could put up, I suppose within FAA rules, you could probably put up a skyscraper. It's up to you. You own the land.
Right. I just thought it was funny that a lot of people talk about, you said also like dangerous. People thought it was dangerous.
Well, I sort of, again, like I said, I as I made reference.
I don't know where these people are going.
Well, I think we were up here. What was it? There was the
only dangerous thing I was on was
areas in LA County I would want to go into.
Yeah, so here, the flow house. I met one of my friends up here at the flow house, and it wasn't the flow house. It was right next to it. There was I don't think I can.
Yeah, the only danger I was ever in Thailand was the speedboat that broke my back.
Oh, did it hit you, or did you fall out of it?
They decided. Well, Crockett and Tubbs were going full throttle into a 30-foot wave and aired it out. Compression fracture.
Yep, that'll do it.
Anyway, so that's the flow. I did a video of this flow house. There's a bar upstairs at the flow house. It's what they call a craft beer. So I met somebody there, and I came home. This is like midnight. Came home, and the MRT station is here, or there's one here and one here. But taxis basically do not stop along this road here. So I had to walk along this road here, right, at night. And this section here is rather scary. It's just basically this is what they call Klong Toi slums, and although this is done at daytime, at night time this is wall to wall tuk-tuks, picking up and clearing out, and it is really a dodgy looking area. And walking along this street here, just to get to you didn't feel comfortable, to say the least, And again, when I say walk along the street, you actually have to walk along the street. There is no footpath.
Right.
Yes.
It's typical, though.
Yeah, but this is I wasn't scared. I just felt uncomfortable. Just because of the nature of walking along the street, the crowded nature of all these tuk-tuks dropping off and picking up and delivering, and that was the cross street there. I think that's right. This is the cross street. Once I turned down here, then I was able to flag down a taxi, but there was just no taxis came along here at all. And, okay, that's the only time I felt uncomfortable. But again, it is a slum. Um,
I mean, I've been out in the middle of Isan, middle of nowhere, and people just they want you to come over and have drink and play cards with them.
oh, yeah, quite normally walking through my soy. Depending on the time of day, like if you walk down to do my 5 o'clock in the afternoon sabbatical, going getting food down the soy here in PopeKael, if I can get back to where were we? So where were we? Yeah, so I've taken people down here, but there's the main street here. While wandering down here, people just they come into their house at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, drink beer, and they invite you in, but it's never once have I felt uncomfortable, even 11 o'clock at night, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning coming down here.
Oh yeah,
never had a problem.
I've left clubs downtown at 4 a.m. and nobody bothered you.
Yeah. But yeah, like some people, there are a lot of misconceptions about the, they say bad news travels. One guy has a bad time. Like I've heard of a few stories, a rather vocal Farang, and when I say Farang, I mean Westerner Farang, what I would call an entitled Westerner, right? Somebody who thinks he has entitlements here in Thailand. No, you're a guest of Thailand, you have no entitlements, right? You're a visitor, we want your money, you've got no entitlements, if you keep your head down, we won't bother you. But if you start getting, vocal and boisterous and start, defaming people and, calling people names, right, you'll find out, how dangerous Thailand can really be, right? And when it comes to push to shove, when you're in front of the constabulary, trying to explain your side of the story, right, there will be countless people will come out of the woodwork who weren't even there to side with the Thai. But guess what? 99 out of times out of 100, it's always been found out 2 to 3 weeks later that the Farang started it, right? He got
the only
boisterous.
people I've seen who were even going to look like a problem were foreigners.
Yeah. And this is what you get, and of course it's that foreigner, he's the one who will then go onto Thai visa and say, this happened to me, I want public support, and the thing gets blown out of, but that's his side of the story. No, that girl, that bar girl, she didn't want her ass felt up. She might be in a bar, that doesn't give you the right to go and grab her ass as she walks past, right? But this is what happens.
Right.
And that's what starts it. He feels entitled. He feels entitled to have his 10 bahts worth of some girl's ass. What, because he bought her a drink? You try to do that in America or in Australia, God, the woman will bloody come along and clout you over the head with a freaking schooner glass. That's what they do in Australia, right? They don't grab a girl's ass at the Claude Face Hotel, for instance, right? She'll turn around, she'll grab the nearest schooner glass and she'll smash it across your face, right? Explain to the hospital why you got lacerations to the side of your face, right? Well, she started it. Yeah, she looked too cute. Yeah, well, whatever. But here in Thailand, the girls won't fight back generally, but the Thai men will defend their people. That's it, and that's what starts it. But invariably, it's a loose hand. Invariably, 99 times of the 100 starts all this bloody bullshit that goes on here.
Well, I think also, like for example, I was over at Biok and they have that driving range in the bar, and the club head flew off the golf club after about 10 balls, and they were immediately on me for 1,000 baht fine for damaging their $10 club.
Oh yeah.
And so of course the ex-wife gets into it with them that we're not paying this, and I'm just like standing there like $30 for a $10 club's kind of ridiculous, but eventually it came down to a $20 or a 600 baht fine for me because they were threatening to take it out of the waitress's pay. So I think other people, they're like, I'm going to stand firm. This I shouldn't pay this because back home I wouldn't be expected to pay for a club that broke, that's just laying there for everybody in the bar to use.
Yeah,
And people just stand their ground and get in trouble, and it turns into a big problem.
yeah, I know. Yeah. It's one of those things. I tend like even pool tables. I always have reservations of playing pool tables. Because sometimes you just walk past, look at some of the state of the queues there. I think if I just looked at the queue harder, it'd freaking break. And then of
Yeah.
course, then they'd turn around and just say, "Well, you broke the pool queue." Did I? I just looked at it, and it fell apart with my serious stare.
Right.
Of course, it probably
Yeah.
wouldn't happen. It probably wouldn't happen
Mine.
in my laser beam eyes. That's it. Yeah, probably wouldn't happen at Susie's bar, but some of these places
No.
you go to, it's just it's
Yeah, but sometimes it's better just pay the 1,000 baht and get the hell out of there.
yeah, exactly. Anyway, what are you missing, Mark? It's dangerous to. Each new year, trouble from radio to experience. Bill Clock. I always have trouble with these names. Clock. Billy Clock. Okay, sorry if I messed your name up there, Billy. Hi Warren, just home at midnight from a night out and VFW here in Erie, VFW here. That's veterans, something.
VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars. It's a social
Okay.
club for
Okay,
veterans, and Erie, Pennsylvania, over on the East Coast.
Well, nice of you to join us, Bill. I hope everything went well with your veteran meetup. I know the guy was talking about building his house up in Nissan there. He's actually part of the veteran club, American Veteran Association over here in Thailand, which is quite prominent. I'm also on their Facebook group. So I keep my ear to the ground with that every so often. They tell me about all the different things that happen in that veteran affairs sort of, all the changes that they make to their statuses and payments and security. That's America for you. We carry the blue pick. I found a stick and braid. What's the stick? I don't get the stick joke. Anyway, words a bit written down the ears. That's because you can't play. That's because I can't play pool. I used to be very good at the old stick game, but not these days. I think my eyesight's completely just given out on me. G'day, William. How you doing? Nice for you to join us. Close enough, he says. I think I just start using people's first names because some of these last names, they just get me. Yeah, okay, so what are we going to move on to? I don't think there's anything else. Apart from the building stuff, nothing really much is going on at the moment, I think Terry sort of said, we want more motorcycle videos. And I keep on sort of explaining to a few people, people are sort of coming up and sort of saying, you're doing too much of this and not enough of that and everything else. And I'm going, well, I am limited. We are. We're in a sort of a pseudo lockdown here in Thailand with this COVID bullshit.
Did
How
you
is
ever get
Susie
your
doing?
foot pegs fixed?
Hey, what was that?
Did you ever get your foot pegs fixed?
I believe the parts were ordered, but whether that's been done or not, so I'm not really too bothered. I'm only worried about when the carport's finished, then we'll bring the bike home and hopefully the par's done, the thing on the foot peg for the motorcycle. Not my motorcycle. Go on.
You ever hear from Susie how she's doing with the shutdown?
I haven't tuned in recently. I don't don't know. So let's have a quick look at the Down Under bar.
Last Facebook thing she posted was just some kind of like models or something.
Photos, the Down Under bar. There we go. Let's see what she's posted there. 17th of May. She's got. Because don't forget, she has a restaurant license now, so she's allowed to open. Go game, but she's not obviously beer bottles with her little, condom things on it. 25th of April. See, not much really going on. There's really been no photos posted there on her page recently. How do you spell her name?
Yeah, her personal page, she's not posting much either.
K-A-M. Yeah, so again, I shouldn't do that. She's only posting to her friends. But it's not on a friends list. I can't really publicly broadcast to her private page. But yeah, so well, that's where we are. So the kitchen's. I've just now where I'm now with the whole kitchen set up is I need to do some work here, and I think underneath the sink here I've got to find something to fit in here for a set of drawers for a cupboard. We've still got junk here that hasn't been sorted out yet. We've got to get that sort of sorted out. Then I move this junk into places. But I'd like to get some cupboards in here so I can put some stuff away properly. That still did work, and probably get some cupboards up here in the top, just so I got some, so I can get some herbs and spices. So I might have done air fryer chips last night, but I would like to have thrown some Italian herbs on the top just to spice them up. Fries are one thing, but throwing a few Italian herbs, ground Italian herbs on top of it, that's another thing altogether. But I don't have any. Neither does Mother, because she's got all the Thai herbs. Not what I would have used. But anyway, so we've still got some work to do on there. What else have we got going on? I don't think there's much else to report this week, apart from the fact that I got a video to cut, which is when we went out and bought her phone. That's right, we had lunch at the PopeKael Terrace again. I took a couple of nice little photos in the 64 megapixel camera.
This from her new phone?
That is my phone.
No.
Of course, that's being rendered in Google Photos. It's not the actual raw photo as well. I have to plug my phone in for that. Yeah, but this is the second growing of the rice season, of course. I think they do 2 seasons per year, two cuttings per year, so it's a 6-monthly crop. That's the thing that I'm confused about is I thought crop rotation. What sort of crop rotations do we get here in Thailand? Seems like this always growing rice. I don't know how that works, how the crop rotation works, but they do plough all the stalk back underneath the ground, which is maybe that re-nitrates the soils. I don't know.
Yeah, my ex-in-laws did 0 crop rotation.
Mm-hmm. Housing project looks good. Is it Mr. Mitch? G'day, Mr. Mitch. How you doing? Good to have you guys. Good to have our special group people. We've got a couple more people on the membership again now. It's always good. Nice to see that sort of picking up. Gotta love Thailand. G'day, gotta love Thailand. Any other questions? We're on TV. Hello, my friend, Mr. Mitch. 22 past midnight here. Yeah, well, we only go till for another 35 minutes. I try to wrap it up to 2 hours, but sometimes we finish early, sometimes we run over time.
No encroaching on the gaming time.
Yeah. Have I found a decent barbecue? Actually, we're out at in the mall. But I don't know what. See, there is no website I can go to, but the mall actually had one for 25,000, but it only had the grill plates. It didn't have the flat plate. And sometimes when you're doing, you know, certain types of things, a grill is okay for most of your cooking, but sometimes if you know, sometimes a flat plate is also required. I suppose you could always use a pan on the grate, but that was a 3 burner for 25,000, which is actually probably about the right sort of size for what I would use in the garden here. Going for a 6 burner like you've got, Rob, that's, you know, I think it's probably overkill. You know, you've got a house big enough to entertain 50 guests, although you cannot entertain 50 guests because of the social distancing rules. Yeah, you've got a place where you could have 50 guests and a pool party and everything else, and you need a big 6 burner barbecue. I think for a barbecue here, for, you know, having a few people over, especially, I think the biggest event we'll have here will be the what they call the blessing, the house blessing barbecue. Not so much a housewarming, it's a house blessing, when everybody comes over for the monks and all that sort of stuff, and we'll throw something on the barbecue for them. You know how it goes. When that happens, I think a 3 burner will probably do the job. And the thing I saw at Barbecues Galore for the 6 burner, they wanted 50,000 baht for that. I think it's, you know, that's a couple of $1,000 US. You know, it's a couple of $1,000 Australian. I probably wouldn't spend that on a barbecue. Exactly why they're so expensive, I think, is just because people will pay for it. But 25,000 comes into sort of more than my budget for a barbecue. So we're still got, you know, out of the initial budget, we're still quite well underway under budget. But, you know, I've got a few other things we need to do.
You need your desk.
Yes, I need my desk. I don't know if I said, no, I saw one in at Do Home, but it was the right length this way, but the return was only 1.2 metres. It wasn't 1.6. I really want to have 1.6 either way, just so I can get all the stuff. You know, the printer will go over there on the corner behind me.
Why don't you get a shop to make you one?
Well, he's going to make me one. The guy that's doing the fit out for Chanya's girl cave, they're going to make it for me. He's got I did give him a drawing. You know, basically I found a drawing of what I wanted on Officeworks in Australia. Officeworks had one, which was the right shape, and I've just then transposed my dimensions that I want onto that shape. So you've got a pretty good idea of what I want to have done, and hopefully they'll be able to work that out from there. Just it is a drawing after all. Yeah. So, but it's how much he's going to charge me for it? I said I'd expect to pay probably 8,000 to 10,000 for it. You know, for a handmade desk. But yeah, I'm still working on that. We're still waiting on that. So the carport goes in. Truck at the front. Maybe the guys are actually here doing. Oh yes, they're working on Chanya's what do you call it, makeup desk. And now I just opened the door there, and all I can smell is the silicone glue that they're using to stick the mirror on with. Bit excessive. I was actually trying to work out whether I could actually sort of do something where I could, you know, click on here and then go into my special little thing and then connect to my my phone. Well, if I do that, and then connect to the phone, right, and then open the phone app. Where's XSplit? There's my XSplit on the phone, right, and then do that, right, and then The trouble is, if I do that, there we go, and then I can go into a large screen. I could take you on a bit of a walk around, but you can't hear me. I can't feed the audio from the phone, unfortunately. So it'd actually mean I have to go live with a different camera and all that sort of stuff. So if everything works out with the testing of the Pocket 2, there will be a Saturday morning stream that we. Well, let me get rid of this. Going back to the other camera. Technology. You always come here for looking at the technology, don't you? Let's get a small screen. Yeah, so turn that off as well. So what it'll mean, I'll have to start the stream up from the phone connected to the Pocket 2 and all that sort of stuff. We need to do some testing and all that sort of stuff as well. Hopefully we'll be able to organise something with David next week to get out here, bring up his gear, because he's been here for a couple of weeks now and he's fairly well settled in. Haven't spoken to him, but if he can, if he can come out this way.
Did the scooter ever show up?
I haven't asked him. He hasn't been on the channel for a few days, so
I thought he was having it shipped to your other house.
No, he's changed the address again. Now that he's got himself his house, now that he's actually got an address, he's been on, because they still hadn't delivered, hadn't shipped from the manufacturer. So he's changed it from one address to this new address, and now he's changed it from this new address into his condo. So it'll go direct to his condo now. So that was one of the things we were planning. He would come out and pick up the scooter and went in to test it all out there. But yeah, Mr. Mitch, a couple mark up for that generous donation. Damn, I missed you guys. I can't wait for the next chapter in my life. Yeah, he's still got.
That chapter caper.
He's coming out. I think he's planning next year. Isn't it? Next year you're coming out here, isn't it? I think that's what was on the plan. He said. And again, you're a member. It's not. That's all right. I can't complain. But yeah, I love it when the members also do what they call it, the super chats. Gotta love that. Gotta love my crew. But yeah.
You just owe Mr. Mitch a drink at Susie's, that's all.
I'm sure that when he gets out here, he'll have many drinks on me when he gets here. And even a barbecue or two, maybe. Come out to the barbecue. We'll all be finished by then. And we'll even have a guest room. You can stay the night. Well, how's that? Look, a lot of people I'm looking for. I said, hopefully they'll get these borders open soon enough. Hard decision, Mark. Just make you feel. Mr. Mitch and I have a bet on who will get there first. Is that right? But what's the what handicap are you under, Mark? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure you've told me before, but trying to keep track of all the little subtleties of every person you get to know. Socially, it can be a bit of a challenge. Had Mr. meeting up with a rep in 2 weeks. Okay. Did I miss something? Better ship them over, Mark. Going to give a lot away to my niece. Oh, this is obviously you're getting rid of all your gear. Yeah. Stripping it down to 2 seat cases, it can be a bit of a challenge sometimes, guys. I have a few more than 2 suitcases worth of gear here now, but I still managed to get all my necessary gear managed to fit into the back of the Vios. So, the rest of it's superfluous, but the computers are not superfluous. Had to bring that all myself. Yeah, Robert.
When I move over.
Yeah, Robert, I'm stuck with him. I wouldn't call us stuck with you. The only thing stuck with is the fact that you're too far away for a Wednesday afternoon beer. Just 2 hours to go for a beer. I wouldn't have even done that in Australia. I know we travel some great distances to go for a beer, but a 2.5 hour drive down to Cha, that's a bit of a stretch for a beer. Mr. Mitch, if I give you the address in Thailand, you can swing by and mow the grass. I think there was something I saw on something that gave me a bit of a giggle. One of these memes in the Walking Dead has gone to 11 seasons now, right? You've got to remember, there's only 10% of the population left. Who's mowing the yards?
All AstroTurf.
It's all AstroTurf and those. I think that was what somebody made a comment in fact that it's all zombies and nobody's got mowers anymore. Who's mowing the yards after 10 years? They've trained the zombies to mow the grass.
Zombies have to have something to eat. If there's no brains around, it's the grass.
Yeah, I just had.
They're like a herd of goats.
It gave me a bit of a giggle when I saw that one. I thought, yeah. I think what we should do there. I was going to look at the Bitcoin pricing. It's a bit up and down at the moment. Probably a good time to buy in. I'm waiting for it to hit 30. I'm waiting for it to hit 32. When it hits 32, I'll see if I can dip in there. I think 32 is my perceived idea of best price. What was I going to do now? I was going to go over to IMDb.
Buy at 20.
You'll buy at 20. We've been watching a couple of series. What's the series we've been watching? We've been watching Humans.
Yes, Humans. That's a good one. Utopia.
Yeah, so I think we talked about Utopia last week, but Humans TV series. Looks like they've done a remake of it. This is an interesting series. Development of the AI servantry, AI help is part of the culture in this series, in this alternate timeline series. Definitely throws out some good ideas. A good, what do we call mind freaks, fracking your mind. But the whole idea of will AI ever get to this level? Pleasure models. Of course we've explored that before with Westworld and a few others. But this one here is made in England. It's actually quite a good series. I was quite impressed with the whole mindset paradigm of these are your hired help, and somebody hacks them so that they become self-aware. Self-aware AI, will they have the same rights as regular humans? They are superior in every way, shape, or form. And I think up to episode 10 last night I watched, where they had them come. We had the council come in, and they're working on things like new solar technologies and all sorts of stuff like that. And that potential, that little community of robots will far surpass the human endeavours in very quick time. What happens when a new species comes along that's more intelligent and stronger and better equipped? Look what happened to the Neanderthals. They disappeared very quick, didn't they? In every sense of the word. But yeah, definitely an interesting series to watch if you can get a hold of it. It's on
I think I've seen a couple of them wandering around downtown.
Have you? But I think they said that there was.
No, I'm sorry. Those are Cro-Magnons, not Neanderthals.
Cro-Mag. So I don't know whether this is a remake. Oh no, it's coming out of. Looks like it's coming out of Korea. Is that right? Okay.
That's the one that was coming out of Asia.
Yeah, so that was what we were getting into this week. What else did I? What other movies did we watch this week?
I went back and rewatched Swordfish. I love that movie.
Oh yeah. So you talked about that one.
Holly Berry, John Travolta.
Watched Utopia, The Nevers. I think we watched it. We talked about The Nevers. We talked about Utopia. What else was there? There was. Oh, that's right. I saw the new the Army of the Dead. I don't know if you've seen this one.
Oh yeah, it's the one where they go into Vegas.
Yeah, this is a pretty hot movie. If you get a chance to watch this one, I thought it was definitely better than that the 5.9 rating again. Maybe it got a low rating because like. How many times can we do zombie apocalypse bullshit, and try to come up with something original? I suppose, yeah, like there's 200 million, this is the thing, there's 200 million in banknotes in a vault in the bottom of the, whatever. We want you to go in and...
One of the casinos in Vegas.
Like, and they go in with duffel bags to get it out. You know how much space 200 million, right, takes up? They'd need a freaking jumbo jet to fly it out, and they're going to fly it out in a wrecked Huey? Oh, come on, like, come on, can we have a bit of proportion of scale and things like that? Dumb ideas in movies, but yeah, it's definitely, like the gratuitous violence. And blowing off people's heads, the blood and gore was pretty good, but I think zombies have been done to death. Honestly, I got Sonny tells me, he says you've got to play this. Going to play like I think Sonny's going live tomorrow night on his Facebook with his latest game. So he's got a gaming page, and again it's zombies. And he said, "Why don't you play this?" I said, "Because it's zombies." "But it's a great game." "But it's zombies." "Oh, you come on, play zombies." I flatly refuse to play zombie games. Okay, just it's a principle, But yeah, okay.
I tried having principles last month and determined I couldn't afford them.
Yeah. The Garbage Eater. I've been watching the original series of the X-Files. Can't beat the old stuff. I know. Look, I rewatched X-Files a couple of years back. I was bored for a couple of weeks there. I wanted something different. So I think when that's right, they had just released season 12. I think the one that they released a couple of years ago. Okay, X-Files. F-I-L-S. This will tell me how long ago it was when I rewatched it. 1990 series. So if I go there, I think it's listed in here. Come on, next so see all this. So 2018. Yeah, so that's what. So when they brought out season 2, I actually went back and said, season 11, season 2 of the news. When they brought out season 11, I actually went and binged watched the whole lot. From the very beginning in 1999. It's amazing. TV, we watched, you look at TV now and TV back in 1999. Actually, that wasn't even 1999. I think that was even before then, wasn't it?
Well, but what's really weird is to see the technology on the desks.
Season
The only thing I remember about X-Files is the guy with the pulsing sore on the bus.
Yeah, season 1. So season 1 started in 93. But I did. I went and rewatched the whole lot from start to finish. And all the faces that keep on popping up and with different makeup. It is a classic series. I really did like it. But yeah, so I rewatched the whole thing, binge watched all 11 seasons, some from January, February 2018. But it was worthwhile. Refreshed it. One of my still, as it SG1. This is still my all-time favourite series of anything. I just think that they did such a wonderful job. The continuation, and of course the branch off into Atlantis, even the branch off into Stargate Universe was definitely up there in my. I watched him from the start. I didn't like some of the actors in Universe. I think they went a little bit too far with some of the different personalizations in the story of Universe. But I have heard that they're working on not a what they call it a kickstart or a restart.
Prequel.
No, they did a prequel. They did a prequel from 1940. That was a webisode. What do they call it when they restart the series from a fresh start? What
A reboot.
A reboot. There was a lot of talk they were going to reboot the series, but I think from what we're getting out of the studios now, a reboot is very unlikely. They are looking to see if they can rope in Daniel Jackson for some guest appearances. Daniel Jackson said yes, he's worth getting in on a continuation, and they got some good script. Whether they do or not, that's still a couple of years away. But they also said that about Firefly. I don't think Firefly will ever happen. They're rebooting Firefly. But Firefly would need a reboot rather than a continuation because there's only one season. And they screwed up with the release of Firefly to start with. It was just the wrong time. But yes, the Twilight Zone. The Twilight Zone was actually re-released. Twilight Zone 59, Twilight Zone. The Twilight. Yeah, so they rebooted the series of Twilight Zone, and we got 2 seasons out of it. I never actually went back and watched it. Season 2, season 1, season 2. Yeah. So. But again, it's something that they could have revamped anyway, because Twilight Zone was always individual stories, as opposed to some sort of continuing subplot, as in X-Files, or continuing sort of story arc, as in SG1. I like things with story arcs, so that it keeps you coming back. The Nevers has an interesting story arc, and I'm looking forward to season 2 of that. Whether the studios continue to keep up with it or not, doesn't matter. But I've actually look. This is in my library, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I haven't even bothered looking at the first season. Supposedly, Lovecraft County. Oh, Lovecraft Country. That's not county. Lovecraft Country. Okay. A young Afro-American travels across the US in the 1950s in search of his missing father. It's very Lovecraftian. Premise and things like that, which would worth watching, but haven't got around to sort of watching that yet. I've got my playlist is growing. What have I got in my playlist at the moment that I haven't watched yet? Movies I haven't watched: Ford versus Ferrari. Let me just Mayday Modified would help, because that's better the way I look at it. Penny Dreadful. I got the complete Penny Dreadful, and I never bothered started. I think I watched halfway to the first episode. And said, it looks interesting. I want to watch that. I guess you need a week to binge watch this stuff. The Road to Paloma, I'm pretty sure that was a Jason Momoa movie, wasn't it? Road to Paloma, that's a movie. Jumanji Next Level, I haven't watched that yet.
You're not sharing that stuff.
I am not sharing that stuff with you. No, I'm not. No. World War. I was going to re-watch World War Z. I did grab a hold of that one again, but I haven't re-watched it. I did I watched Outbreak. What's that doing there? I did re-watch Outbreak. Let's put it in movies watched. Movies watched. There we go. Outbreak. I downloaded the Ombak, which is I've got Thai subtitles for all three of those. I was actually going to watch Ombak, which is probably the best, Thai action movie coming out of Thailand, in Thai with certain parts of it in English, but I've actually got the English subtitles, and I was going to use that to hopefully help improve my Thai lessons. I haven't even sat down and watched that yet. Lovecraft
Shows
Country.
on Bach for a guy's night out at the movies, and they didn't let me choose anymore.
Did they? You both are. Thanks very much, you both are. Beers on you. Thanks very much. Upload. That was the Upload. Did I watch Upload?
You really want him to get you to throw you out of a movie group and suggest Dr. T and his women.
Well, my second chance at redemption was the Happening, so I didn't get to choose anymore ever.
Oh, that's right. I think I watched this too. This was an interesting one. Upload.
Yeah, Upload's awesome.
And you're thinking, well, what's wrong with this thing here until the very last episode, and you realise the whole subplot twist. Oh my God, that was a bit of a mind fuck, that one.
Yes, it was.
What, they've got a second season coming out or what? But he died in the first one.
Well, he died at the start of the first one. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you get what I mean. He died in the first one, right? And they got episode 1, 2, 3, and another season coming out. They don't know, right? Maybe there's material to have another season, but yeah, a very interesting movie. I'm not going to spoil the overall, super twist in the story. But yeah, it was definitely sort of. So I have watched that one. I should put that in watched folder. I'm pretty sure you all come here to find out what's the good stuff to watch on. American Gods season 3. I haven't watched American Gods season 3 yet. Triumph of the Nerds.
I haven't even made it through season 1.
The Marksman, the Courier. Oh, I found a copy of. I was reading about Robotech and Macross Saga. They finally settled. If you're into anime, Robotech and Macross Saga are two sort of sub-story plots in this anime from the late 90s, and they finally settled their differences in copyright over a couple of months ago, and I thought. Robotech. I remember seeing that stuff, on a weekday morning going to work, and you start to get into these little anime sort of stories, and I actually found all 3 seasons of Robotech. So I did start watching. I think I got to about episode 10. I'm going, yeah, it brings back some. Okay. I'm not really into anime, but it's probably one series I will watch through to the end. Tucker and Dale, you told me Tucker and Dale.
Tucker Dave, that's a good movie.
Tucker and Dale. I haven't watched it yet. Versus Evil. The serpent. The serpent is. This is something that's coming. There's done a lot of the SERPENT. It's out in the cinemas, but it's based on the real life story of Charles Sobroje, murderer, thief, and seductive master of disguise. This is a movie. Oh no, it's actually a series, isn't it? Okay, looks like I've done the whole series. So I've got this to watch. That's another one I want to binge watch. There's a lot of shots of Bangkok in this one, so it's definitely worth some time if you really want to have a bit of an inside look at the streets of Bangkok and some of the history of Bangkok. Shadow and Bone complete series. What's that one? I can't remember why I've been down there. It's Shadow and Bone.
It's good. I haven't seen the whole thing yet. I've watched the first couple episodes.
The Irregulars. That's another superhero, or
Yeah.
yeah. Man in the High Castle. I've got the whole Man in the High Castle. I managed to swing all 4 seasons of Man in the High Castle. I haven't even started that one yet. I know. I think I basically loosely watched Man in the High Castle playing on one of the screens while I was doing something else, so I didn't really follow the plot. Utopia. So we did Utopia. No, that's what I was going to watch the Amazon version to see how bad the Amazon version was. That's why it's still in the folder. Sabotage, it's a movie. God, I've got so much to watch. How do you keep up with it? Darlo, thanks very much. Couple of marker. Warriors.
The last Bangkok-based movie I saw was Steven Seagal and the Asian Connection on Amazon Prime. Terrible.
Okay, Warrior. Okay, this is 2019. Season 2 of Warrior was released. I don't know if you actually have seen like I've watched season 1. I thought this was one of the best series I've seen in a long time, based on Chinatown in West Coast Chinatown, 1900s in America. I just thought it was absolutely, like, I don't know the history or any of that sort of stuff, but I really loved this series, and I've got season 2 to watch. It's definitely one I would highly recommend, but if you're going to watch it, you have to obviously start from the beginning, season 1 and season 2. It's again underdog story, blah blah blah, and victimization of the Tong. It's based during the Tong Wars of the late 1800s. Martial arts prodigy China migrates to San Francisco, becomes the hatchet man for the most powerful Tong in China. Tong in Chinatown. Yes, definitely worth watching. If you get a chance to watch this one here, I would highly recommend it. And that's all the stuff that's in my playlist. When am I going to get the chance to watch all? Like Wrath of Man. That's a movie. I saw that come up with a recommendation, so that's another one I want to watch. God, not enough time in the day to watch all these movies, right? Especially if you want to get out and get some sunlight. Anyway, it is.
Just think about the time you're saving, because now you don't have to go get your coffees.
Oh yeah, well, that gives me an extra 10 minutes a day. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, or an episode of something.
An episode of something, you reckon? Anyway, what have I missed in the last half hour on the chat there? I think you guys have been talking to yourself. All the stuff from the 80s and 90s are the best. The stuff that they make today is crap. Oh no, there are some good things that come out, but as I said, the general churn from the studios, right, is a little bit iffy. But Amazon Prime are doing some half decent stuff. Netflix, I think there's a couple of Netflix things coming out that are looking pretty good.
Seems like half of what Amazon Prime claims they're doing is all just releasing the BBC stuff in the US.
Yeah, or they're remaking. Yeah. Who was there? Roy Good. Sorry, I missed you there, Roy. Good to have you along for our Saturday morning wrap. But anyway, as I said, next week, if we can get it all working. I've got to get on redo my audio system. Maybe I'll go and get myself a proper mixer. But I really need my desk for a proper mixer. But yes, we got something special. We're going to try and work out something special. A guest appearance. We'll probably even do a video feed hook up into it as well. Because I can I pop out and put the video feed on there. So we can actually have his face there. He's going to open up for a whole line of questioning. Right, and again, I reiterated with him last night the rules we have on this channel. No talk about other vloggers. All I'm going to say, he is a Thailand vlogger, very well established in Thailand, very well known. He's going to be coming on, and we'll have, I'll have a set list of questions that we'd like, him to elaborate on. But we're also looking at questions from the audience as well. And as long as we might have a bit of a job for the moderators to keep things, because once they see him on the channel, I'm sure we'll have a few unwanted guests from the normal, the normal throng, because we will start promoting it probably about a couple of days beforehand on Facebook, the fact that we're going to be doing it, and I will probably even put it up there as in my feed to tune in, and you'll get an idea who it is probably next Thursday, next Friday. But definitely stay tuned for that. That's all going to happen, and again, at the moment it's about 80% chance that it's all on, but nothing's ever definite in China, especially the Phuket opening on the July the 1st. So let's see if we can. There we go. Change the picture changed. That must be 12 o'clock. Anyway, guys, great having you along, and we'll hopefully catch you here next week. Stay tuned, and let's see what we'll see if we can have a fun day next weekend. So we'll see you then. Where's my closing screen? Get out of here. Have a great weekend. Thanks for guys. See you later. Go on, get the lawns mowed, Robert. Okay, we'll see you later,
guys.
Okay, guys. Thanks for joining, Sean.
All right, thanks.
Play that funky outro music.
Funky outro ride. Lay it down.
Can you whistle, Augie? Can't sing.